as you might think, with this transaction.
Right.
And it actually makes the Zeons now side with the Titans.
Right.
So now they're an even bigger army.
So
it's like, way to go, asshole.
Escalation.
Well, no. It's to me, it was just like, way to go, asshole. You could have played it smooth, like you could have, and you didn't. And now you just look like an idiot. So yeah, that happened. And I wish I could think of more, but not really a whole lot else has happened.
Okay.
I will tell you this. The one thing I've noticed in this series compared to Gundam is that there's a lot more relationship stuff in this one. Enough so that it's almost like a romantic comedy. Because you have to deal with Camille and Fa.
Yeah.
Always fighting. Like, literally, they if somebody drops a ketchup packet, they're fighting about it. Then you also have, like, the captain of another ship who was in the first couple of episodes. He's got a crush on Emma Sheen.
Right.
Except Emma Sheen is, like, the anime equivalent of, I'm an empowered woman, and therefore, I don't need a man. I'm not going to get married. And he's got it. So it's like, you have to endure these moments of, well, maybe we could go out sometime. I'm an empowered woman. I don't need to go on a date. Because he always has that kind of face on him.
Right.
From that moment. It's great. I believe, yes, we're going to give the Swift Helm over to Chaz, because I believe it will increase his speed.
Oh, right, the Swift Helm.
There we go. No! I promise, when we make multiple runs through this place, people, it's not going to be that bad because we'll have all the chests. That's pretty much my anime update. I will admit I have been watching a bunch of other stuff, but that's just because January isn't necessarily the funnest of months for me. Mainly because it's winter and kind of a dreary time. So I've actually been watching a lot of nostalgic stuff, which keeps me in good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever done that, Alex, where like you have an especially bad week and you dig out something that just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That's been kind of my week, is doing that. Oh, crap. I may have actually missed out on a chest. We're going to go back and double check, but...
Well, considering I had my first week of actually taking calls at a very, very busy time for what would be the work I'm in. I don't want to get into too many details.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so certainly for having to kind of get that baptism of fire, so to speak, for this new job I'm in.
There's no other way to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, what's really nice is they did give us time.
For the record, I know where he works.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to divulge anything.
Yeah. What's nice is they gave us time to sort of ease into the program. They paired us up with an experienced person to have us observe and let them kind of pilot us or guide us, and you know
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and the only problem is just the time that I came in. It's a very busy time, so at some point it's pretty much everybody's got to be on duty, and that includes us, the newbies. And well, that means a lot of hold on, sir. I'll check, make sure that's correct. And
I actually wonder if business is actually going to pick up for you in a couple of months.
Oh yeah, it
because
will.
of tax time.
Oh yeah. There'll be
for no other. I mean, I've worked retail call centers for DirecTV and whatever. That stuff just gets busy because of tax time, because people are looking to save however much money they can just in case they owe money. So
yeah.
Oh, and I got a Genosis Claw.
A Geonosis Claw.
Or a Genocyclaw. There you go. It causes genocide. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Well, it's fairly clear who it's going to go to, so give her that.
Maybe you want to heal someone up?
Yes. Keep talking, though.
Chaz. Yeah, so this, and having started like a whole bunch of new anime for this season, even though unfortunately just most of them are kind of meh, that I'm probably not going to keep up with some of them, but there's at least 2 good shows that I can say, oh yeah, I'm going to stick through this whole season. So that certainly helps take off the edge.
I'm just curious, which are the ones you're going to stick with? Because I've seen a couple of your updates,
Right.
But I'm still making my way through others.
Well, the absolute ones I'm gonna stick with is the show called Erased, and
Okay, that one makes sense.
Yeah. If you want me to give you the premise or just
No, I've watched that video.
okay,
so I know
yeah.
that one.
And the other one, which I haven't made an update on only because it's the second series, so I don't feel a need to. It's called Snow White with the Red Hair, and it's
Snow White with the red hair?
yes.
Okay.
Even though, for the record, it has really nothing to do with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's just that's how the title literally translates as is Snow White with the red hair, and
it's
yeah. Even it's not like I say it has nothing to do with Snow White, but it feels very Disney fairy tale-esque, which is really nice, and it's kind of cute and calming and just an all-around gentle series.
Okay. Very cool. And do you want to actually, since I know what Erased is, but people might not know what it is.
All right. Just if you haven't watched my channel so basically Erased is this story. It's starts off in about the year 2006 or so. And we meet our main protagonist. His name is Satoru. And we kind of learn that he kind of has the ability to kind of rewind time. And we see him do this because he saves a little boy from getting hit by a truck. And because the driver apparently has a heart attack behind the wheel, he manages to save the little boy, gets in the hospital himself, though, because he ends up getting hit by another car. He survives. And
wow, conveniently hit by another car. Okay.
Yes.
Because that's what happens.
And of course, then we meet his mother. After he's out of the hospital, we meet his mother, and it's kind of apparent that him and his mother have kind of grown distant over the years, and their relationship's a little cold.
Okay.
And so over the course of the first episode, we just kind of see the relationship between them, but we also kind of get this whole plot, this plot going that back when he was a little boy, when he was like about 10 years old, this classmate of his was kidnapped and found murdered sometime later. And the police had a suspect. They pinned it on a suspect, and I guess he was tried and convicted. But after a while, his mother starts thinking perhaps police did actually have the wrong culprit, because she spots what somebody possibly trying to take another child. And as she starts digging around, well, she's brutally murdered for it because she's getting too deep into it. He discovers her body. Police are going to take him in for questioning. But he freaks out and he panics and he runs away.
Okay.
And then upon that, somehow he goes back in time all the way back to 1988 to when he was that little boy again. And now he feels like he must have to fix the past or something. So we're only 2 episodes in. The manga's probably a little further, so no spoilers. I don't know anything about the manga, and well, I don't want to. So no spoilers, people. and
now you're gonna get like 20 people saying, "Well, you need to know."
Yeah.
And before sending you a big long page email.
People are gonna letter bomb me comments about how the plot goes from here, and I don't want to know. But
yeah, don't spoil it for
people. It's just so engaging. It's a really excellent mystery. And I know you and other people have really suggested Death Note to me. Well, I feel like if this shows any indication, then yeah, I probably will check out Death Note, because from what I know of Death Note, I know some things. It feels like this show and Death Note would have kind of the same atmosphere, and the way I'm enjoying this show now is, well, I'll probably go check out Death Note now.
Yeah, because I know at least on my angle, I wasn't recommending Death Note to you just because it was popular at that given moment. I was recommending Death Note to you because I really did think that this would be a series, like, because of the intrigue and because of some of the moments where you're trying to figure things out, but you already know the answer, were really ingenious to watch. So that's personally why I recommended it, and it sounds to me like this series does that too.
Yeah.
Is it subbed?
Right now it's subbed. I know it's going to have a dub, and
if it gets a dub, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre because I don't know. I know it's gonna have a dub, but it's like bizarrely enough, it's not licensed by Funimation directly. It's licensed by Aniplex of America, which.
Aniplex.
But it seems like Funimation is gonna be the one streaming the dub. Of course, that's an exclusive service, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's a service you have to pay for, and I'm already paying for Crunchyroll.
Yep.
And. Well,
And people have actually asked if you were gonna pay for Netflix or if you were gonna use our stuff, and I think that's the plan because he is paying for Crunchyroll, and well, you know, there are some things that on Netflix that he does want to check out. So
yeah.
So I think that's the way we're gonna go.
Soul Do.
Okay, so we're running low on mana here, so we are gonna go ahead and do it. Say it with me, Alex. And I don't need to do a Ryuka because all I have to do is fly to Desolus and use a pad. Not a bounce pad, a recovery pad.
Bounce pad. Bounce pads. Still remember, like...
It always comes back to Sonic Boom, doesn't it?
Yeah. Third planet from the sun, Desolus.
Does that mean it's the third rock from the sun?
Yeah, it could be.
Incoming message from the big giant head. You know that series I never watched. I actually feel bad now because, like, I don't have a hate for that series. It's just, it's a sitcom, and I'm ignorant to them.
You're ignorant or you're indignant?
Indifferent.
Okay.
Is probably the word I'm looking for. I don't hate sitcoms. In fact, I actually watch a few sitcoms, but I don't watch them regularly, and I find the premise of them to be dumb. You know, the premise of a sitcom is, this is where having a college education kind of hurts you, is the premise of a sitcom is to make you feel smarter than the everyday person, or than the person in the sitcom, because they make all these dumb decisions, and you sit back and laugh at how dumb they are compared to how smart you are.
Right.
And I've always found that premise to be, well, dumb.
A little tiresome.
I find it dumb. I find it condescending. It's just not. It's not entertaining to me.
That's why I can't really get into the Big Bang Theory. It's because, to me, these aren't nerds. They're the Hollywood depiction of nerds. It's the cliche nerd.
I like the Big Bang Theory, but mainly because of all the guest star appearances and the occasional references that do happen to pop culture stuff. So, like, one of my favorite episodes is when they find a replica One Ring, like a replica One Ring from the set, and they're trying to decide what to do with it, and it's literally taking hold of them. I found that funny.
All right.
That's hilarious to me. But I can see your kind of argument with it, which is, you know, it does get boring after a while.
Yeah.
And these are the Hollywood interpretation of geeks. You know, I love the people that try to bring up, like, there's a little Sheldon Cooper in all of this. Not really. Not neurotic. Even even some of the geek, like, I'm not the geekiest friend amongst some of my groups of friends, but some people I would actually dare say he's more Sheldon Cooper than me.
Probably.
You know, but a lot of that time is like, no, nothing is ever that bad. However, I have heard that there's been some interesting developments with that character, so I need to get back into it. Apparently, he's given up like in the series he's actually been in a relationship, but it's been a Sheldon Cooper kind of relationship,
Right.
and apparently in recent seasons they've actually kind of shown that the girl involved is tired of that. Like, she wants a relationship.
Right.
And so we've been seeing, like, Sheldon slowly kind of sacrifice his own individual rules to give her what she wants.
Right.
I've actually even heard that they've spent the night together, which
nice.
is something that Sheldon for like 3 to 4 seasons said, I'm never going to do that because that sounds gross.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's who Sheldon is. Like, he's still a kid in an adult's body.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting concept, but most of the time sitcoms are annoying to me, and they're not funny.
Yeah.
This is why in a lot of cases I can't... This is, like, nothing against slice of life shows, but that's kind of one of the reasons why I can't do them.
Right.
Is they feel like sitcoms to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, people actually gave me crap over the whole K-On! Stuff. I liked K-On! In the end, but a lot of people were like, well, why do you hate the cutesy factor here, and why do you hate that they're doing the same repetitive jokes? That's kind of why. It feels like a sitcom. Mm-hmm. You know, when you keep on doing the whole stereotypical joke where Ritsu's trying to scare Mio or something like that, and it's done over and over, the first thing that comes to my mind is, oh, crap, don't do that. Is the comparison to a sitcom.
Right.
Where a sitcom would do that repeatedly and say that they've never learned their lesson. So there you go. That's kind of my whole deal, but I can understand that. I'm excited to at least know more about this other series. If it's got the level of intrigue, then if it got a dub, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, it hasn't come. The dubbing hasn't come out yet. And, I'm sure I'll get it at some point once Aniplex releases the standard editions.
Of course.
Which I hate that so much because Aniplex and Pony Canyon now does this too, but they love to do the Japanese model of releasing anime, and you've gone through this when you try to pick up certain Gundams, where it's like a Blu-ray with 4
DVDs, and it's like $30.
With 4 DVDs for $30 is probably
no. I'm saying a DVD with 4 episodes.
4 episodes. Oh, $30 would be a steal for that. They charge I don't know, $100 for 4 episodes.
Oh yeah, and like when Gundam Unicorn came out, you and I have talked about this, but when Gundam Unicorn came out, the pricing model for that was ridiculous. For 1 episode of it, which is, it's an OVA, but for 1 episode, it was like $45 it was Blu-ray only. You couldn't get a DVD version. And it was like $45 per.
Right.
And it was only 1 episode of that OVA.
Right.
That's kind of ridiculous, people.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to live on a budget and be a fan, you know? Like, if I can go and get, season whatever of Friends, which has 30-plus episodes in there, I think. Yeah. 30-plus episodes for the exact same price, what do you think I'm going to go for?
Yeah.
The thing that has more. There's actually a lot of times where I had to choose whether or not I was going to get one anime series or another, simply because that anime series was kind of out of popularity, and places like MediaPlay or FYE were trying to get rid of the DVDs.
Yeah, they go on sale.
In fact, speaking of the feel-good show that I've actually been watching, I haven't gotten it because the DVDs have been rather expensive, but now that there's been a new box set printed out, I guess last year, a friend actually decided to get it for me, and that is the complete collection of Beast Wars and Beast Machines.
Right.
So, but the reason I never got the individual seasons was because it was still like $50 for it for 26 episodes.
Right.
Whereas I could literally get a bunch of Yu Yu Hakusho DVDs for $5 via third party and end up with way more.
Yeah.
For that. So that's kind of the dilemma that I would go through as an anime fan back in the day. Back in the day.
Oh, anime. Crack would be cheaper.
And I love the justification that companies like Funimation give, where it's just the things we do for the things we love. No. That's not even acceptable. That's not even acceptable.
Funimation, at least, is still reasonable with their price points. It's just Aniplex and now Pony Canyon love to try the whole, let's charge the Japan market prices for our international customers.
Well, and another thing that also hurts that whole concept is, we live in a state where, yes, we live in the United States, people. We live in a state where taxes are fairly, sales tax is fairly low. Just think if we were living in a state where sales tax was enormously high.
Yeah.
Where instead of paying $30, it'd be more like $50 for 4 episodes of a series.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's if you're buying retail, assuming you're buying...
Well, but here's the thing. In some cases, like an anime fan that's starting out, they have no choice but to go retail.
That's true. That's how I started. That's how
most anime fans start.
Yeah. And then I discovered the internet. I discovered online shopping.
Yes.
I'm kind of late to the game, I gotta admit, but...
Well, it's one of those things that has actually made me very... Oh, I need to point this out. So, Rune just barely leveled up and actually just got a really cool ability. I can't show it on here because it's an attack magic, but he basically got the Armageddon spell.
Oh,
in
cool.
This one. He's now got the... I believe it's the last major spell that he can get. So that's how powerful I am right now.
The Armageddon spell.
Yeah, because I do think that in this game, it not only hurts every enemy on the screen, but it also hurts every ally on the screen. So there will be a couple of points where I actually do have to nuke everything on the screen and then do a huge heal up. But anyway, back to the anime conversation, because we're having fun with this.
Anime updates from Drak and Shadow.
Well, I was actually just talking like the pricing stuff.
Oh, yeah, the pricing again. Back on the pricing. Because I don't read enough about this on my own channel.
So, actually, yes, I want to discard the Trimate, because I'm not going to
Trimate got. Okay.
In fact, you know what? We're just going to use a Trimate really quick, because I think one of us is getting low. Yeah. So, another thing I'd actually like to bring up as far as anime is concerned, because people have actually wanted your opinion on this from my channel, which is, so you remember like a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago when we barely started, I had made a goal for myself to go through every single Ghibli film, because I hadn't done that.
Right.
And I got through a majority of the list. But I eventually stopped because, well, things got busy.
Yeah.
And so I stopped at like Howl's Moving Castle, and I haven't done it yet. So the question that the people have been asking is, since you're not forcing me to watch any anime series at this point, and you've been one of the people to recommend going through the Ghibli canon and watching it.
Yeah.
They want to know if you were actually going to like force me to watch through the remaining Ghibli movies so I can put out a review. Keep in mind, guys, this was not a review like video. This was like, I was putting this up on my Facebook to give people my opinion, because that's where people were asking. And it just so happened that I kind of cut out around Howl's.
Right. No, I can't say I'm going to force you, because I don't have many...
That's not how you do it, people. It's not. You know, that's the sad part of it, is like, people thought... I actually did get messages of like, well, Alex needs to force you to watch it. Then do you think I'd be watching it? Or do you think I would be avoiding it?
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem with your argument, is I'm not going to be paying attention to it anymore. I'm going to be resentful towards Alex for forcing me to watch something I don't want to watch. In fact, my review of K-On! Would probably be way further down. It'd be like, I absolutely hate this thing. I don't want to watch it ever again. But I still love that occasionally we do get those people who are just like, no, you need to be that guy with them. You need to force them every minute of the journey. Yeah, that's gonna work, right?
That's just a bad idea.
No, yeah, it's a horrible idea. You want people to love it for exactly why you love it. Anyway, back on the pricing.
Back on the pricing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we made our points across with the pricing models.
Can we at least come to one agreement here? We both hate Central Park Media with a passion.
Central Park Media, man. Why?
Because like half the crap that I had to endure as a kid
was
put out by Central Park Media.
Yeah.
I mean, I brought this up. I had to endure the age of MD Geist, you know? Oh my gosh. This is why Anime Abandoned is almost like a...
no regularities, that.
A release for me. Because some of that stuff is just like, oh my gosh, we had to endure this crap. We had to endure MD Geist. We had to endure... What's another one that he did that was really popular? Genocyber. We had to endure... all that stuff. And while I do still think some of it's fairly good, like some of Bennett the Sage's opinions on certain anime, I don't necessarily agree with. I think they're funny, enjoyable. A lot of it was just bad and hyper violent and hyper sexy, and
yeah, the 90s.
It was the 90s. It's the 90s era of anime. Because occasionally, like, he'll do a gem like Vampire Hunter D, which I always appreciate, because D was always an interesting concept for a character. I think that's the best way to say it. Well, when you have a demon that's in your hand that's constantly ridiculing you. Because anime.
Because anime.
This is an anime premise, people. Like, you thought it was bad when people were I don't know if I'm even saying this right, where people are putting on a magic thong as battle armor. You thought that was bad? Dude, that's par for the course for us.